Siemano, zanim zaczniemy, parę słów o naszym partnerze kanału, czyli o platformie Boosteroid, platformie cloud gamingowej do grania w gry. Jeżeli ktoś nie wie, na czym polegają platformy cloud gamingowe, polegają na tym, że można ogrywać gierki tam, gdzie się chce, kiedy się chce i o której się chce. Tak więc dowolnością jest, jaką grę uruchomicie, a także na jakim sprzęcie, bo można uruchomić na telefonie, tablecie, na jakichś handheldach, telewizorach, no, co wam się będzie widziało. I to można uruchomić gierki i nowsze i starsze, bo można uruchomić takiego Frostpunka drugiego, można uruchomić troszkę starszego już Cyberpunka. No, wybór jest spory. Cały czas zresztą też jest biblioteka powiększana, co tydzień są dodawane nowe tytuły, tak więc no raczej każdy znajdzie coś, co go zainteresuje. Dla zainteresowanych link w opisie, a my przechodzimy do odcinka. Siemano, witam bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku z Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Kontynuujemy naszą przygodę tu, gdzie skończyliśmy, czyli zasadniczo na małym poczęstunku przez Piotra.
Eat whatever takes your fancy, my friends. You look like you've had a hard journey.
Ah, the journey wasn't so bad, especially compared to what came before it.
No tak.
Where are you coming from anyway?
From Trusky.
That's Sir Otto von Burgo's domain. What were you doing there, pray tell?
We were in a castle cellar, talking to an old acquaintance.
My God, how did that happen?
Simple. I'm in the service of Lord Sokol of Lamberg, same as Dry Devil. And I had a job to do around Trusky, if you get my meaning.
Absolutely. But it wasn't much of a success, was it?
Actually, it was pretty much. We even took a castle.
Well, more like a
Unfair,
small stronghold.
And we nearly got von Berghoff too.
And what prevented you from completing that righteous deed?
No,
Markvart von
wojsko.
Aulis.
I know that name. He's the commander of the Prague militia.
Exactly. And they came with him.
But why would the Praguers send
tu jest mały
forces to
problem.
Trusky?
Gdyby nie
But they
przywiódł...
didn't, sir. They weren't sent to Trusky, but here. They just stopped off to visit von Berghoff because he was in a tight situation, and they took him along with them.
Here? To my fortress? Christ almighty.
Not just here, but everywhere where King Wenceslas still has supporters.
Właśnie.
And that's also one of the reasons why we're here. We came to warn you. It seems Sigismund's run out of patience. He's going to break the truce and finish
Jakiś
off the rebellion
gość
while he
stoi w
still has
drzwiach.
time. So he's convened all his followers in Kuttenberg with von Berghoff and von Orlitz in the lead. It's just a matter of time before the battles begin.
We've got to secure the fortress quickly, stock up on supplies, reinforce the guard and drill the troops. But I'm grateful to you, friends. Wait here. I'll have the best wine I have brought to you. Bring that red from Burgundy right away.
You might want to save some for Jobst.
I'll gladly risk his displeasure for this occasion.
It seems we both have the same opinion of Jobst, eh?
Well, that is, I wouldn't dream of disrespecting the Margrave. Where do you know him from?
I don't really know him as such. We merely know each other due to my original trade.
Yes, I've heard of you. They say you used to be, well...
Bandytą?
Yes, a
Rozbójnikiem?
bandit. It's no secret, sir. King Wenceslas even put a price on my head once. And Catherine here, she...
I'm sure that's of no interest to the noble gentleman. And anyway, if anyone knows Jobst well, it's Henry here. You two are quite on friendly terms, aren't you?
Aye, we know each other well. We recently had talks together in Ratai.
Anyway, we're straying a little from the point. As I said, one of the reasons we came here is to warn you. And the other reason goes by the name of Hinek, the Dry Devil. Where is he?
Tam się kolejka robi
He was here for a while,
w drzwiach.
at my invitation.
Was here? So he's gone?
Where did he go?
I couldn't say. He didn't part quite on the best of terms.
That's quite normal for him. Don't take it to heart, sir.
I had no issue with him. It's more about Margrave Jobst. When he met Hinek, he was somewhat disturbed.
Disturbed? Why?
Well, let's say
Bawią mnie ci
after the
strażnicy,
exchange
które
of
stoją w drzwiach.
they agreed it would be best if they saw as little of each other as possible. I'm sure if you're interested in the details, the Margrave will explain it to you himself.
I'd be very surprised.
What was
tam
Dry Devil
robi?
doing here, anyway?
Waging war, if you can call
A,
it that.
prowadził wojnę.
He ambushed 3 of Sigismund's supply caravans and a troop of Cumans in these parts alone. It made me a little nervous. If anyone found out he was hiding
Trzeci?
out here, in the
Tak.
end, it was Jobst himself who sorted it out. He told Hinek he had to stop because he was interfering with his plans.
Ja po prostu stwierdził, powiedział Hynekowi, że ma wypierdalać i skończyć mu tu przeszkadzanie.
Why is Jobs taking such risks? He almost put himself in Sigismund's reach. What for?
To do what he's been doing all his life. Scheming.
One could put it that way.
Scheming.
He's seeking allies amongst the undecided lords and winning over to our side some of the ones who've sided with Sigismund so far.
He wants to make deals with turncoats?
Alas, that's the way it goes in politics. The majority lean towards the side where they expect the least problems. Just between us, I'm not too pleased myself about Jobst's strategy.
Ci strażnicy
And
są
I'm the
świetni.
last one who'd wish for violence.
What do you think about all of this, sir? Sigismund, Wenceslas, Jobst?
What kind of question is that? Do you doubt my loyalty to our king?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Henry here sometimes forgets to weigh his words, sir.
That's all right. To be frank, we all know that King Wenceslas isn't the great man his father Charles was. But that is the way of the world. History is full
Ładna
of kings
kolejka
who
naprawdę
didn't
z
know how
tych,
to wear the
tych
crown.
prezencji
Blood
w
running in
ogóle
their
broni
veins is more
drzewcowej.
important than what's in their heads. He's not a capable ruler. What of it? In my opinion, kingship is above all a guarantee of divine peace. A sovereign's greatest asset is his legitimacy.
But what if the sovereign is truly bad? If he's mad, say.
I'll put it this way. Nobody lives forever, lad.
No tak,
Least of all bad kings. Isn't that right, sir?
to się zgadza.
What about us? What do we do now?
The Margrave will certainly want to talk to you, but the earliest he'll be back at the fortress will be tomorrow. I hope until then, you won't refuse my offer of a bed for the night.
Just an offer. So you'd let us leave if we wanted to.
Well, the Margrave did ask me to look after you until he returns, for the sake of security.
Whose security?
Good question. Yours, I expect.
Dobre pytanie.
So be it. I couldn't take another step anyway.
No tak.
Sir,
Może
there's
coś
still one
będzie
more
wiedział
thing we
w
came
sumie.
for. Lord von Bergov is holding my lord, Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, hostage. And we also have to warn Jobst's ally, John of Liechtenstein. Do you know anything about those two?
Sorry, I don't. I didn't even know von Bergau had come here until you told me. And I've heard nothing about Lord Liechtenstein.
Which is actually good news. If he'd been caught and executed, the word would be all over the region. So there's a strong hope he's alive.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Lord Pisek.
It's the least I could do, lad. My fortress is open to all the king's supporters, even if that does make it a bit crammed.
I suppose I ought to get to bed. Where can I sleep, sir?
I had some chambers prepared for all of you. Yours is right here in the palace. Cross that corridor
Idź
and
na
go up
górę
the
schodami do
stairs.
przeciwnej
You can't miss
stronie
it.
korytarza.
There's a
Na...
garland above the door.
Chciałem
But
wisieć
first, eat your
girlanda.
fill.
Aha.
All of you.
Okay.
And maybe you'd like to bathe before going to bed.
Oczywiście.
I told my servant Susanna to prepare baths for you. The baths are in the little house in the courtyard. right next to the well.
Okej. Wycieczka! O! 4 typa! Jaki dumstak strażników! Ała! Ciekawe. Nie trafiłem tutaj się wykąpać. Czy powiedz, że ona mi umyje te ciuchy? Fajnie by było.
Lord Pisek said we could have a bath here?
Tak
Yes, sir.
średnio
I
wygląda.
prepared the hot water and fragrant oils myself. And I'll wash your clothes as well.
Thank you.
You needn't thank me, sir. And now, if you'll allow me, I'll help you undress.
Miejmy nadzieję, że będzie uprane. Jak nie, to będę musiał... Jest uprane! Jej! Jest uprane. Potrzebowałbym jeszcze potem sobie pancerz Brunswicka umyć. Miałbym spokój. Orzechu! A czemu ty taki agresywny? Co? Chodź tu. Ty! Chodź.
Here, Mutt.
Pieczone łódko ci dam. Daj mi ci jeść.
Here you go. Take it.
Boczusia ci też dam. O, masz boczusia.
You silly Mutt.
No, dobra. To mamy i teraz tak. To jest w ogóle ta twierdza z samego początku. To są te schody, tu jest to przejście, tam się broniliśmy. Potem mieliśmy przejście, przechodziliśmy... O! Potem przechodziliśmy właśnie jakoś... Tak i ten... Tu pamiętam, że było zawalone. I pamiętam, że tu się broniliśmy, strzelaliśmy do nich. Do tych, którzy próbowali się wedrzeć do twierdzy. Tu... Drzwi mnie zamknęli! Skryba. Girlanda nad drzwiami, mówicie? Ciemno. To chyba to. Taki wieniec. Chyba tak. Więc to wyżej jest... A, zbrojownia chyba. Okej, otwórz. Mam tu skrzyneczki. Mam skrzyneczkę. Co my tu mamy? Czytaj. Wojna panien i jej zakończenie. Aha. Coś tu będzie ciekawego. Otwórz. Czapka z pawim piórem. O. O, płaszczyk jakiś taki ładny. Grosze dostaliśmy, bandaże. Nawet sracz prywatny mamy. Wow. Co luksusy. Dobra. Czyli to... nie mogę usiąść? Nie mogę usiąść, mogę się kimnąć. Ale tu mogę usiąść. Bo ja mam ogólnie tonę tych książek. Tu mapy mam. I tak. Rozłupywacz czaszek, notatki mistrza. To cicho jak kot. No to nie opłaca mi się zwracać im tych książek. Jak i tak nas nie lubią, to po co mam je oddawać? To sobie zobaczymy jakieś te listy. Jakieś 2 listy uznania w ogóle. Sporo fantów. Inwentarz. Co my tu mamy? Bo całkiem sporo lektury. Ci nikczemni kowale. Może się czegoś dowiemy? Z tych książeczek śmiesznych. To ja sobie zobaczę potem. Jako na off-screenie. O. 2 razy notatki mistrza. A, nie ma czasu do stracenia. Okej. Czy jednak nie mogę sobie poczytać i podszkolić umiejętności. No to cóż. To sobie przerzucę te książki po prostu do tego. Wrzucę sobie po prostu do... O! Widzę, że mam 2 razy ten. 2 razy ten sam schemat. Okej. Czy jeszcze tu mamy jakieś schematy? Nie. Szkic chłopskich płotków. Dobra. No to kima. Śpimy do 8. A myślę, że będę miał chwilę, żeby sobie w razie w ten poczytać. Takie buty. Będą go teraz męczyć. O,
So you got your revenge. Father, did it make you feel any better? It did. So what comes next?
Mark von Aulitz is next. Then von Berghoff.
And is that what you really want, son? No matter how many people you kill, you can't change what's happened.
It's what I want.
Are you sure, Henry?
What's happening? Why are you waking me up? You again?
Yes, the Margrave is calling for you, sir. You and the other gent.
You mean Ziska?
I suppose. I don't know what his name is, but he's waiting down in the courtyard. I'm just on my way to tend to his wounds.
And what about Catherine?
That's the good wife who arrived with you? I don't know. I think I saw her with our captain.
Very well. I'll go now.
Before you go, I brought you something for breakfast. In case you're hungry. Oh, have I been too bold?
No, definitely not. Thank you. Do you need anything else?
No, sir.
So, why are you standing here?
You haven't dismissed me, sir.
Oh, I see. You may leave. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Ach, tak. Jesteśmy uznawani w sumie momentami jak za szlachtę. Mimo, że nie jesteśmy szlachtą, jesteśmy traktowani jak szlachcic. Można by rzec, a to cicheca. Syn kowala, a traktowany jak...
I apologize.
No idź, kobito. Nie mogę wejść. A! Nie, nie, tak, nie, tak, nie, może? Nie. Nie, to nie jest na pewno miejsce, gdzie Ziśka może być. W sensie, ja go mogę gdzieś w pokoju spotkać, czy co? Bo mam namierzyć Ziśkę. Nie, ty nie jesteś Ziśka.
Our fields are ravaged, our barns are empty, all our ale's gone.
Okej, to na pewno też nie są Ziszki. Strażnik. Otwórz. Ta salka zamknięta. Okej. Orzech. O, widzę cię. Zostałeś namierzony.
How are things, Captain?
What do you think? I've seen better days. And you, youngster?
Me? Well, considering what we've been through, surprisingly good.
Just wait until you've been through as much as I have.
Nah, don't say that. You still have your strength. A real man of iron.
A damned rusty one, I'd say. But enough chat. I see Jobst has returned to the fortress.
That's why I'm here. They're expecting us.
They can wait a while longer then. First, I have to fix myself up and tell Catherine to prepare the horses. You go ahead without me.
O,
Are you expecting trouble?
I always expect trouble. Jobst has turned coats more times than I can count. And the way things are these days, I'd rather have horses standing by, even on a visit to my parents.
coś w tym jest.
What about that dry devil of yours?
Warto mieć
Did you
najpierw
find out where he went?
No,
przygotowaną
nobody
tą
asked him where he was going, but it seems they're hoping it's as far away as possible. I'm not surprised.
ucieczkę.
If I know him, he wasn't the ideal guest.
At least Jobst might know where he is.
He might. To be honest, that's the only reason for talking to him.
Should I really go and see Jobst on my own? He's a Margrave, though.
So what? You already know him better than I do. You met him in Ratai. I only know what I've heard about him.
All right, but he sent for us both. How's it going to look?
A bit odd, I suppose. But you must understand, I'm doing this for our benefit. The less time I spend with a Margrave in one room, the better.
All right, then. I'll be going, then.
Okej. A pójdziemy do sali bankietowej na audiencję. Chociaż, że to salą bankietową nie można zbytnio nazwać, ale całkiem... To muszę przyznać, to jest całkiem ładny zameczek. Jak na małą taką twierdzę, tak całkiem ładne jest. Taki zameczek. Jobst.
Henry. Where's Captain Zizka?
He got held up.
I received a report that von Bergov's banner is flying in the camp of my dear cousin Sigismund, so I assume the negotiations at Trotsky didn't go too smoothly.
No, sir. I don't have good news for you, I'm afraid.
Well, good or bad, I'm sure you have plenty to report. So what happened with von Bergov at Trotsky?
Bergov had no interest in our message. By the time we finally arrived at Trotsky, he'd already long since made a deal with Sigismund. But of course, he didn't tell Sir Hans and me anything. And on top of that, he used us to do his dirty work. Everything went to hell in the end, and we ended up in a dungeon. Or at least I did. They took Lord Capon away. In fact, that's why we're here. We were following von Bergov's trail.
So I've heard. But I'd be interested to know the details. It's been some time since our meeting in Ratai, and now you appear here by the side of a quite unexpected guest.
Well, it wasn't the best circumstances to meet Zizka in. They sent him to the Trotsky region to cause problems, and our paths happened to cross. We crossed swords. I can only thank God we didn't kill each other.
And who was giving Zizka orders? Do you know?
Nie wiem, nie będę odkrywał wszystkich kart,
I have
jakie
no
mamy.
idea, sir.
That's a pity. I would be very keen to know.
Forgive me, my lord, but how is it possible you don't know? Aren't you all on the same side?
Bear in mind that my dear cousin, His Majesty King Wenceslas, has many supporters, and each of them has their own ideas about how to defend him.
I understand. It seems complicated.
On the contrary, it's all quite simple. If I could get them all together in one banquet hall, give them their fill of wine and venison,
Od razu doszliśmy do
they'd come to an
porozumienia, no
agreement
tak.
on the spot. Let's move on. I heard something about a pillory and poaching. What in God's name did you and Sir Hans get up to?
Things went wrong right from the beginning. We were ambushed, and we lost the letter. Lord Capon and I were lucky to get out of it alive. But no one at Trotsky believed that we were messengers.
Von Berghoff refused to aid a nobleman in need. That seems pretty low for a man
Tylko,
of
że
his
jego nie było
stature.
też w zamku.
Well, to be honest, Lord Capon didn't really look much like a nobleman. We were ambushed while bathing in a pond, and then we fled through the woods. So we really looked like a pair of beggars.
Ah, that must have been a peculiar feeling for Lord Capon.
Było. Jak najbardziej.
You can't even imagine it, Your Grace.
I certainly cannot, in truth. In any case, are you sure there's nothing else you want to tell me?
Well, you should probably know that Istvan Toth was working for von Berghoff,
Who's he?
one of Sigismund's cronies. He was causing havoc around Ratai.
Ah, yes. Hanush and Radzig mentioned some such person. They even foolishly let him go.
They had to. They gave him their word.
Yes. Well, it's actually quite heartening that some people still have such
Ale Węgrów
naive
mają po swojej
ideas
stronie,
about
to
the
jest
world.
problematyczne.
Well, no one let him go this time.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Very good. From what I've heard, he was a bandit and a cutthroat. There should be no dealings with his ilk.
Zgadzam się.
And do you want to tell me anything else? Besides about Toth?
That's all that happened, sir.
Truly. My court messenger and bearer of tidings, both good and bad, John of Liechtenstein, has mysteriously gone silent. So every piece of information I get now is precious. By the way, you said you were in von Berghoff's dungeon. And I can imagine how they treated you there. Tell me, did you reveal anything?
Nie.
Well, they asked questions, yes. But I was counting on that and prepared myself for it.
How did you prepare yourself?
I just thought something up.
Henry, what exactly did you tell them? What you might consider to be a minor detail might be something of utmost importance.
I don't know. It all happened so fast.
Nie
But
udało
you
się.
said you had time to think. So how was it then?
Well,
I've had better liars than you fail to trick me. So tell me, what came out of those loose lips of yours?
although it wasn't me who told him, von Berghoff did get certain information.
What information?
About Liechtenstein. That he's in Kuttenberg. And what he's doing there. I'm really sorry, sir, but...
No.
Well, they tortured us.
That is truly unfortunate. But you've nothing to be ashamed of. I think it's too much to expect anyone to hold their tongue under torture.
But Lord Liechtenstein... What if they killed him because of us?
John went straight into the lion's den. He knew the risks. Thank you for the news. You're free to go if you want. But I would be glad if you stayed at the fortress. As soon as it's possible, you can join a legation heading for Ratunek. I'm sure you already want to go home.
What? Go home? I can't. I have to rescue Sir Hans. I made a promise I'd protect him.
A noble thought. But you mustn't worry about Lord Capon. I'm sure von Berghoff has him trapped in a gilded cage.
But I made a promise, sir.
I understand, but honestly, Lord Capon is now safer than you or I. The most sensible course now is to wait for the ransom demand.
Nie.
Margrave.
Ah, Captain Zizka. Henry and I were just discussing Lord Capon.
Yeah, the Margrave thinks he's in no danger, and we should wait for a ransom demand.
As one does.
No tak.
I wanted to talk to you about something else. I suppose you're wondering why your friend Hinek, also known as the Dried Devil, isn't here?
Oh, there's plenty of gossip going on around the fortress. You and Pisek refused to grant him asylum.
Asylum is for those in distress, Captain.
No
Hinek
tak.
came to burn and pillage. I have quite different plans.
And what might those be, Margrave? Sitting and talking while King Wenceslas rots in a dungeon.
No coś w tym jest.
Great. Not so long ago, you were conspiring with Sigismund against Prokop, your own brother.
It would be futile trying to explain to you the intricacies of the Luxembourg's dynastic politics. Let me just explain that that was what was called for in the situation. But I assure you that I am now acting in the best interests of this country and of King Wenceslas.
You're acting
Powiedziałbym,
first
że
and
tak.
foremost in your own interests.
Coś
Everyone
śmierdzi.
knows that.
Strong words coming from a man who earns his bread by killing merchants on the road. No offense intended. I applaud your art. The pen is mightier than the sword, but there are times when it's vice versa. Enter!
All ready to leave now, sir?
Good. It's high time. I expect the captain was about to leave anyway. Are you not?
With pleasure.
And you, Henry?
Me? Well, sir, I made a promise.
Nie,
I understand.
nie wyjeżdżam.
I won't attempt to keep you here by force. But bear in mind, I have concluded a very fragile truce with Sigismund, which gives us time to get ready. And if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences. Grave consequences. I consider this matter closed. Farewell and good luck.
No tak, szlachta. Ich poziomy. Szlachcic drugiego poziomu widzę tu się odbywał.
I get the feeling Yopes didn't make a great impression on you. Are we leaving?
Yeah. And Henry's going with us.
Wait, you'll help me find Capon?
Sure. But we'll need people for that.
No tak.
And information. Catherine, I've got a job for you.
Yes?
Go to Kuttenberg. Find out what happened to Liechtenstein. If anyone knows what's going on in this godforsaken country, it'll be him. In the meantime, we'll go and find Dried
Bez siodła,
Devil.
bez niczego.
Good luck. I'd go all the way to Rome to spy if it kept me away from the devil.
Let's go.
Czekaj. Teraz tak. Oczywiście. Czemu mi non-stop tego konia normalnie rozbraja? Powiedzmy, uzda z miętkiej skóry i tyle.
Stay close. The devil doesn't know you, but he should recognize me, even like this, unless he's too drunk.
What is your plan, anyway? Go from village to village, hamlet to hamlet, until we find him?
That won't be necessary. We just have to visit places where you can get booze.
So all the taverns and dens in the region?
If it comes to that,
I'm up for that.
don't get your hopes up. We'll have a beer, listen to the local rumor mill, and if we don't find anything, we'll pay up and move on.
Where do we start?
I have heard of a place that's a favored meeting spot of bandits, poachers, and all kinds of scum. If I was looking for the devil, or at least someone who knows something about him, that's where I'd go.
Sounds like a good place to start. And if we find the devil, what then?
If we're really to step on Sigismund's toes, we need capable men. And the devil's capable. Of anything, really.
I'm not sure what the three of us can achieve.
Hinek's not alone. He has the devil's pack.
Who?
That's what his band is called. They're exactly the sort of men we need.
And what do you have in mind when you say step on Sigismund's toes? What about Liechtenstein and Capon?
The same thing we did to von Berghoff. But don't worry. It's going to take a lot of time before we're ready. In the meantime, hopefully Cap.Friend will find out where young Liechtenstein is hiding. If his spy network really lives up to the legend, he'll surely know where they're keeping young Capon.
I hope so. And when he's free, then we can step on Sigismund's toes. I'm sure Lord Capon will be happy to help.
In that case, he'd be better off staying in captivity. So, what do you say? Should we speed up?
No.
Aye. The sooner we get there, the better.
Robimy sobie fast travela. Wow! Ile tu jest... Ile my trasy byśmy jechali? O, masakra! Gościu, ile my jechaliśmy? O kurwa. No, trochę.
I hope our journey doesn't prove
Czarcianor.
keep your hand on your hilt, Henry.
O. No, dobrze mi się wydawało, że tam jakaś burda się dzieje w środku.
I warned you you had it coming, you drunk!
Hang on. I didn't see it. Does feel better when I've had a drink. It's a gift from God.
Either you pay us back our coin, or you can leave your head with us.
You wouldn't get a groschen for an alternative mine.
You're right about that.
I'd have a use for that turnip. But I can only pay for it with iron.
Shiska?
You turn on your heel and get going. If you value your life, you might have known
Grozisz mi?
there's more of us than you.
That can be fixed.
No. To da się naprawić. No ten... Wino popiję. Niestety nie założyłem zbroi. Jestem taki trochę goły i wesoły. No! Aha! Co to było do ciężkiej cholery? Przecież mi przyrżnął głowicą w pysk. Co do chuja wafla? O. Poczekaj. Teraz mogę. Teraz mogę. A sobie spróbuję w sumie. Ciężki miecz i to.
I hope our journey doesn't prove to be in vain.
Tak. Powiem wszystko.
Help me with him! I'm not afraid of anyone but God Almighty.
You'll die for that, you bastard! A death for a death!
No.
Do I have to pull you out of trouble again? I see you're still a drunkard.
It's good to see you too, Shishka. What happened to...
Okieł.
That doesn't matter now.
Huh? Who's that? Where's your old band?
You're looking at all that's left of it.
I see we have a lot to talk about.
That we do. Anyway, this is Henry. Henry, this is Kubienka.
Hiya, lad. And thanks for the help. You're handy with a sword.
Thanks.
Not that I couldn't handle them myself.
He would be one of the best archers north of the Alps. If he wasn't drunk or with one arm in the stocks all the time.
Shouldn't we leave before someone notices the corpses?
Nie wiem, czemu Henry
Easy,
się
lad. This was the devil's den. If we behave ourselves, the innkeeper will just charge us a cleaning fee, and that will be that.
There will be plenty of time to get acquainted with the local customs. We're looking for the devil. Where is he?
Well, when I said we have a lot to talk about, now is the time. This is the innkeeper, Dreadlight.
Gentlemen, I won't have this. You're murdering my guests and making a mess.
They started it.
They've been drinking on credit for half a day. Who's going to pay for this now?
If you search
Mogę
their pockets
zapłacić.
and sell their weapons, that should cover it. And I have a feeling Kubienka here owed them some dice winnings.
I didn't cheat.
Pay him.
All right, then. What did I do to deserve you? Here you go.
Ah, I see you are a nobleman and a generous man. You didn't have to, but thank you. I'm much obliged. You don't need to worry about anything. We'll clear away the corpses,
No, witam
pour some
panów
sand on the
szanownych.
blood, and no one will know what happened here.
That's nice of you. But leave us alone now.
Nobody will be looking for them anyway. Only the catchpoles would be interested in them. You might even get a reward.
Did you hear Lord Shishka?
Yes, I did. Of course. I'm leaving. Just call if you need anything.
Okej. O, mogę. Dobra. To tu sobie skończymy. No, mamy 40 minut odcinka. Się zagapiłem. Dobra. No to sobie skończymy. Ja wam dziękuję za oglądanie. Zapraszam do lajkowania, subskrybowania, komentowania i co? I widzimy się w następnym odcinku. Siemano.